For our first project today, I have this thrifted, it's a cabinet door, and it was made into a chalkboard. And I'm taking Sweet Pickins milk paint in the color Red Door, and I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of milk paint to 2 tablespoons of water. I like to add my water in first, dry my spoon real well, and then add packed tablespoons of my milk paint. Mix it really well, set it off to the side for about 10 minutes, and then paint my surface. I did give this 2 coats of shellac prior, and that's going to just help seal in the surface and increase the crackle. And I gave this 2 coats. This actually has a tag on the back. It's a business right here in Maine that makes cabinet door decor. And so once that's dry, I gave it a good sand. The camera doesn't do it justice, that you can't see the crackle, but it is there. It's absolutely beautiful. And I wanted to keep the center the same. So as you could see, I'm going backwards here. I had it covered up, but I have IOD's new transfers. This one is so beautiful. It's called Stag Tavern. It has dark and moody colors, lots of animals, reds and greens. It's so rustic and beautiful. It says the Robin and Rose Tavern. I'm going to place that right on the center. My chalkboard is clean. And this is essentially just one transfer. There's not like little pieces. These transfer over so easily because it's just one continuous piece. And so I began rubbing and pulling back on that transfer vellum. New transfers go on like butter. IOD, it doesn't matter how old they are. I think they all go on great. But when they're new, it's just a little, a little less effort if I'm wording that right. Then I'm going to go over it with that vellum, burnish it right into the surface. And then I saw this really pretty poinsettia, adding that to one of the sides. And then there were some smaller roses, and I'm going to place one right along the other side. And then I just took one more of those and added that right along the other rows. So it kind of looks like a cluster. And then I go over the whole thing with Paint Couture's Dead Flat. Where this is a chalkboard, I just wanted to keep that nice matte finish and seal everything in nicely. Now I have my Sweet Pickins dark oil wax. I'm right at the bottom, so it's really dark and thick. And I had my sponge here, and I just really worked that into all those cracks. I did list this on my Whatnot show, so I wasn't able to get video of it. In fact, I haven't gotten videos of like a lot of my projects lately because I've been listing them and selling them. But I do have a mock-up that you'll see here in a minute. I let that oil wax sit for about 10 minutes, wiped it back, and then I took a little bit of this vintage antiquing paste, and I like to run it along like the sides and, just kind of frame it in. And then I wipe the remaining back and really buff it out. And I like that little ledge there. You can place your chalk there. I mean, not that this is going to be used as a chalkboard, but I like that that's there. And this is how it came out. It's so pretty. I absolutely love this one. What do you think? All right, for our second project, I have the color Chateau and this little wooden plaque. I believe I got this a few years ago from Brandy at the DIY Struggle. I know they also have them on Timo, but I'm taking the Bramblewood Diaries. It's filled full of small animals and florals. It's meant to be used year round. It also has like calendar type ephemera. It's just so such a fun transfer booklet. I chose this sweet little, it's a little mouse on a couple of mushrooms. And again, I began burnishing. This sold immediately in my Whatnot show. And it's amazing. All these projects that I've been making over the last few years have just sold like hotcakes. And it's just nice because I don't have them all sitting there just waiting for someone to love them. And this one's just, I said it before, but it's just so sweet. Now I have the color, I think it's Bellwood. And again, it's by Fusion. I didn't mention the first one is by Fusion. And then I just went around and kind of framed it in. And then I brought that green along like the little bands that you can see on each peak. And all I need to do is one coat. Fusion paint is just so nice. And then I recently got this Luxe Metallic from Paint Couture, and I think this one might be called Aged Bronze, and I went over this beaded detail, and I just needed one coat. And then I'm going to seal it in with more of that Dead Flat sealer by Paint Couture. Added a little bit of Tim Holtz Distress Ink in the Walnut Stain. And this kind of looks green on raw wood. I like how that went with this piece. Just a small, easy project, but so cute. And that's it. I think this came out so cute. Like I said, it sold within the first few hours on my Whatnot show. All right. I got this at a yard sale. I got 2 of these buckets. That's just a piece of hair on the inside, piece of my lab's hair. So I'm going to go over the whole thing with Sweet Pickins Extra Bond, and that's also going to seal in our surface. But it's going to produce a lot of lovely crackle. So I want this to look old and lots of lovely chippiness. I didn't get it with the first project. Shellac doesn't seem to produce as much crackle in my opinion. Now I have the color Providence. Again, another Sweet Pickins milk paint. And I'm doing 3 tablespoons of water to 3 tablespoons of very well packed milk paint. I went a little bit too heavy. I did have to go in and add a little bit of water later because it was just so thick. But the thicker the milk paint, the more crackle you get. And I've been using a fan brush a lot. One of my favorite YouTubers is Tina Williams from Rehatch Designs. I learn so much by watching her. She's an amazing teacher and just so talented. And I also get her subscription box. So check her out if you don't know who Tina is. And I gave it 1 coat of paint, let it dry real well. I did use my embossing gun to speed this up. Then I gave it another coat of paint. And this project flies right by because I didn't show me adding the transfers, because I showed you in the first 2 videos. In this one, I used so many transfers. You'll see here in a second, but see how nice it applies with the fan brush. I actually ordered some more because I just find that it's just so much easier to paint with, and you can really do some close cutting, like to frame something in. These work so nicely. And so I covered it in Fern Fables. That's from IOD's spring release. No, summer release, I'm sorry. Went over it with more of that dark wax, and I let it, I did sand it. You see how you can see the black through? Yeah, I did sand it before I added my transfers. I haven't done a voiceover in a minute, guys. Oh, life has been so busy. It's really been a ride. I miss my predictable life, but at the same time, it's kind of like everything that's transpired has really pushed me out of my comfort zone in so many ways. Let it sit for about 10 minutes, wiped it back, again, added more of that vintage antiquing paste. But I am so glad to be back. I miss you guys. I hope you enjoyed the older footage that I shared with you. But this is how it turned out. I think it's so beautiful. This is one of the sides, and then the other. So I hope that you enjoyed these projects today. If you did, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, hype me up if you loved it, and turn on that notification bell if you don't want to miss another video from me. I'll have another video on the 18th, the 22nd, and the 27th, all collaborations. I will see you soon. Bye.